What we eat is not important, as we get rid of the urge to feed ourselves when we are hungry. But if our soul is particularly attracted to food, it becomes an obsessive desire until it is eaten. Most of us have experienced this feeling. The desired food usually contains high calories. This is why this feeling is associated with weight gain or high body mass index. The idea that if the body is suffering is giving a signal about a food that the body needs, it is quite common. But what is the accuracy of this? Research shows that this sensation can have many causes, and many are psychological. In the early 1900s, Russian scientist Ivan Pavlov revealed that dogs are waiting for food in response to certain stimuli about mealtime. In his experiments, Pavlov taught the dogs to secrete saliva in response to the ringing tone. Cultural conditioning. According to John Apolzon, an associate professor of food and metabolism from the Pennington Biomedical Research Center, the desire for food can be mainly explained by this conditioning response. If you are constantly eating cornflakes while watching a program you love on TV, your desire to eat cornflakes will increase while watching that program, says Apolzon. What triggers a desire to eat is external factors rather than our own body. One of the things our soul suffers in the West is chocolate, which can be considered as an indication that no nutritional deficiencies lie in the source of this desire. Because chocolate is not rich in such a nutrient. The fact that chocolate is a common object of desire is attributed to its abundant phenylethylamine substance. This substance triggers the brain to secrete dopamine and serotonin chemicals known as the hormone of happiness. However, this molecule is abundant in foods such as dairy products that are not as desirable as chocolate. When we eat chocolate, an enzyme that breaks down the phenylethylamine substance is secreted, so it doesn't reach the brain. The desire to eat chocolate among women is 2 times more than men. Research shows that chocolate is the most desired food in the West, especially before and after the menstrual period. Even though blood loss causes some mineral deficiencies such as iron, scientists say that chocolate won't eliminate iron deficiency as much as red meat or dark green leafy vegetables. In addition, if hormones were effective in the emergence of the desire to eat chocolate, this desire should have increased after menopause. But there is little research showing that the desire for chocolate decreases after menopause. The fact that the desire for chocolate is unique to Western society shows that there may be cultural reasons behind this. One study shows that a woman born outside the United States feels less about her desire to eat chocolate, and there is a much less chance that she will establish a connection between this desire and menstrual period. The need to find justification. Researchers attribute that it is more acceptable for women to associate chocolate with menstruation, to eat foods that are taboo during these periods. The ideal view of the weak female body in Western culture creates the perception that the desire to eat chocolate is justified. In another study, it is stated that the strong desire for a certain food stems from the conflict between the desire to eat that food and the desire to limit the consumption of that food. Especially women therefore refrain from eating that food, which further stimulates her desire to eat it. Experts say that this leads to negative emotions, and the person feels bad if they consume these foods. Negative mood leads to more eating. Research shows that the desire to eat chocolate is unique to the West, not very common in Eastern cultures. In addition, words expressing the desire for food are present in only 2/3 of all languages, and most of them are used for drugs rather than food. There is also no consensus on what exactly these words mean. This situation may cause some different feelings or situations to be considered as food desire. How do microbes manipulate us? It is stated that there are trillions of bacteria in our intestines, and these can affect our eating style and food desire. According to Athena Actipis, an associate professor of psychology at Arizona State University, there are findings that microbes can lead us to consume the nutrients they need, not the nutrients our body needs. Different microbes in the gut may prefer different environments, such as more or less acidic environments. The food we eat affects the ecosystem in our gut, and these microbes can lead us to a diet that suits their needs to create a more advantageous environment for them. They do this by sending signals from the intestines to the brain via the vagus nerve. When we consume the foods they need, they can make us feel happier by providing the secretion of dopamine and serotonin hormones, known as the hormone of happiness, so that we consume more of these foods. While this has not yet been observed by experiments, scientists know that microbes develop such forms of behavior. Actipus says that a healthy diet with complex carbohydrates and fiber-rich foods creates a healthy environment by increasing the variety of microbes in the intestines, thereby increasing the desire to eat healthy foods. How to satisfy the desire for food? Since ads and photos shared on social media are filled with signals that will trigger the food desire, it is not easy to satisfy this desire. Advertising bombardment of unhealthy foods containing lots of sugar affects the brain and strengthens the desire to eat. Since there is no practical method of reducing such stimuli, researchers are trying to fix this problem through cognitive strategies. Some research shows that awareness techniques based on understanding why food cravings originate and avoiding judgmental thoughts about this can work. There is research showing that the most effective way to get rid of the desire for food is to remove these foods from our diet. When we eat less than a food for a certain period of time, it seems that our desire for him decreases. This may be because when we eat that little food, our memory about it starts to fade over time. However, experts point out the need for more research on this subject. The fact that we will take the basis for now is that the healthier our diet is, the easier it is to direct the food desire to healthy foods.